Hey there, all you wrestling fans out there. I am Macho Man Davidvinc. And all you little people better brace yourselves for my incoming, totally massive review of the demo of WrestleQuest. Yeah!
What self-respecting baby gay didn't watch wrestling back in the 80s and 90s? I mean, come on. It was pretty much porn, despite how stupid and fake it obviously was. But I, for one, was still glued to my TV screen whenever it came on. So of course I'm going to be interested in a JRPG based upon pro wrestling from the classic era of my youth and teenage years. Originally announced for release on May 31st, it looks like they instead went ahead and dropped the demo, so that is what I am reviewing here. The whole thing takes place in the toy room, and you kind of play as living dolls. Think something like the movie Toy Story and you'll get it. The graphics are an absolutely beautiful utilization of 2D pixel art for the characters, the locales, and the backdrops. All of it looks wholly unique. There's no reused RPG Maker assets here, and you can really see that a lot of time, love, and care went into the design of this world. The demo itself lasts roughly 40 minutes and allows you to play as 2 different wrestlers, and it covers the tutorial section as well as 2 different areas on the world map. So you do get to see quite a variety of locations, wrestlers, skills, and attacks. I think something that's really nice is that just like pro wrestling, the game does not take itself too seriously. Humor and jokes abound. There's definitely an irreverent style permeating the entire game, and one thing that actually really did make me seriously laugh out loud was when they were talking about superheroes, and they go, "But wait, the difference between wrestlers and superheroes is that superheroes are fake. Wrestling is real." Each location is fully different from the next, and based upon places that you might encounter in the pro wrestling world, such as a store that sells face paints, gyms, wrestling rings, and big old circus tents. And as you're going through and exploring these areas, you're going to notice that there's a mini-map on the screen which will guide you in the direction of your quest. And if you're really lost or you forget what you're doing, you can always just hit that R button and that will let you know exactly what you have to do in order to progress. All the areas that you need to head to are indicated by an exclamation point. So as you go and you explore there will be a treasure indicator there too, letting you know how many treasures are in each location, so you will be sure to find them all. Although some of those treasures could be hidden behind tables, but that's nothing for you. You're a badass wrestler, and you'll bust those tables right into no problemo. While exploration is a whole lot of fun, I would say that the main meat and potatoes of it all is really in the battle system. Just like any good wrestling match, they all take place in the wrestling ring, where each button signifies a different attack. A is your basic strike, B allows you to taunt the enemies, greatly increasing your hype meter and therefore your stats, Y allows you to use any sort of items that you have, and X are your gimmicks, also known as your special moves. Timed attacks are back with a vengeance, but it's much more difficult here than in, say, something like Super Mario RPG, because rather than just pressing A every time, you instead have to press the button that's shown on the screen. Now, I am an old, dried-up queen, so while A and B are easy enough for me, it's really hard for me to do the X and the Y prompts, especially because I'm using an Xbox controller to play this on the PC, and there, the X and Y buttons are opposite of what they are in the Nintendo Switch controller. So it's just a royal pain in the ass to me. But again, I am sure that that is just a me problem. The hype meter is a pretty cool addition, and you'll need to keep an eye on that. The more hype that you have, the more your audience will be on your side, and the better your attack and defense powers will be. You can keep your hype meter up high by mixing up the various attacks that you do, so it kind of reminded me of that battle meter over in Chained Echoes, insofar as you having to mix up your attacks in order to stay in the green and out of the red. Once you do get your opponent down and fatigued, you then have to pin them to finish them off. And here, the umpire comes on in and a little meter pops up, and you're going to have to hit the A button 3 times when the meter is over the green. It's simple enough to do, and it just adds a little tiny bit of realism to that wrestling match. Now, you might think that this is just kind of like a single player game, but remember, there are teams in wrestling, and there are different wrestlers that you can recruit to join up with your party, and different managers to hire too. And while the wrestlers will fight with you in battle, the managers instead grant you passive bonuses as well as extra gimmicks that you can use during combat. All told, I had a blast with this roughly 40-minute demo, but since it still is a demo, I wanted to take this opportunity to call out a couple of things that I do think would make the experience better. First things first, you shouldn't have to hold down the B button just to run. Running should be the default. And even whenever you are running, it's still kinda slow. So I think that the running speed should take over the current walking speed, and then you should make the run speed double the actual speed that it is now. Secondly, battles can take quite a bit of time because you have to watch your wrestling moves play out, and then you have to watch your opponent's same wrestling moves play out. So maybe having like a fast forward feature might be helpful. Although I could see that getting in the way of the timed attack system, so I guess it's just something to mull over. So, this was my most anticipated game of the month of May, and I am so happy that I was able to grab a hold of the demo and review it myself, and I personally cannot wait for the full game to release. So that's it for my review of WrestleQuest for the PC. What did you think about the game? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and what I do on the channel, please consider following me over on Twitter, supporting me on Patreon for exclusive videos and early access to my content, heading on over to Twitch for some streaming fun, or coming on over to my Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David, and if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.